So we just want to say, as we're beginning this gathering, we want to talk with you about anything you want to talk about. That unless you're doing that thing you do that holds your cork under the water or that introduces resistance to your path, you will be in the receptive mode, and source within you, who knows where you are in relationship to everything you want, will be constantly received by you. Sometimes you say, I would like it to be revealed to me, the path to all my joy and happiness. And we say, that path is constantly being revealed to you. The light is shining bright. It's not a question of whether Source is revealing it to you. It's a question of whether you are in the receptive mode so that you are receiving it. You can't set your radio dial on 101 AM and hear what's being broadcast on 96 FM. The frequencies have to match up. And since everything is vibrational, and since your emotions are your tuner, this is not a difficult thing to do when you understand what we just presented to you just now. So, here's your short quiz as a result of what you've already learned. Do you know that you are the creator of your own reality? And do you know that you are a vibrational being living in a vibrational universe? And do you accept that there is a larger part of you who exists, even though you can't exactly see it, you can sense it, even though you cannot see it, who stands in completion of all that you have become so far? And do you acknowledge that there is often, in fact always, somewhat of a gap between your thinking, your thoughts, your patterns, your personality, your attitudes, your moods, your beliefs — a belief's just a thought you keep thinking — and the knowing of the Source within you? Is there a logical gap? And can you feel when the gap is narrow and when the gap is wide? Don't your emotions tell you all of that? Then you now know everything you will ever need to know, not only to receive all of the things in full manifested form that you desire, but to live happily ever after, not standing in pain over a desire that you can't figure out how to accomplish, but in eagerness of the unfolding of the path. Because we know, in the same way you don't want to eat all of the food that you will eat for the rest of this lifetime today, we know you don't want to. You do not want, especially not in this restaurant. You do not want to eat it all today. You do not want to eat it all today. And you don't want everything that you want to be introduced into your experience today. You want to savor it. You not only want to savor the end result, you want to savor it as it is unfolding. You want to savor it as it's turning all the way from the vibration to the thing. You want to feel the emotion that is the awareness that it exists. And you want to be in that happy receptive mode so that when you get an idea, you know you've received an idea. And you want to have the fun of following the idea, following to see where it leads, and watching another dovetail with it, and another, and another, and another, and another. You want to be consciously aware when those ideas start bringing you into rendezvous with others. You want to feel the rendezvous. You want to feel yourself immersed in the cleverness of the others. You want to feel the cooperative universe coming into place, giving you clues, giving you ideas, but most of all, giving you that sense of eternal flow. Because you see, you are creators, and Source has your back and knows where you're going and is flowing with you always. So if you just make the simple decision that you want to feel good, and you start reaching for the best feeling thoughts that you can find so that you more and more consistently hold yourself in the receptive mode, oh then, you meet this one, and you meet this one, and you meet this one, and you meet this one. You have fun along the way. You have clarity. Your ideas are flowing. Their ideas are flowing. You're having this wonderful time. You are manifesting these magnificent things, and you are standing in constant appreciation of this magnificent world in which you live, of which you have come, and in which you are creating your own reality. We are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. There is no order of business, and there is nothing that is off limits. But we do promise you such a comfortable unfolding that by the time you leave at the end of this gathering, you will have a very clear sense of who you are and what to do about being in the receptive mode, so that you can have the pleasure of consciously, deliberately turning your vibrations to thoughts, and those thoughts to rendezvous, and those rendezvous to experiences, and those experiences to manifestations of all kinds. This is an abundant universe, and it's time for you to get the clutter off your path. It's not that you will have a direct path, because the direct path is not always, sometimes you like it, not always the most delicious path. Because you know, the source within you knows everything that's in your vortex, knows all the things you want, and knows where all the things you want are in relationship to where you are in any moment in time. Relationship meaning physical proximity, relationship meaning vibrational proximity or emotional proximity. So sometimes you'll be inspired to a rendezvous and you'll say, what's this about? This isn't what I thought I wanted. But it opens something that lets you know something more, that lets you know something more. And as you relax and trust that it is unfolding, and that it is unfolding perfectly, and then at the same time that you are acknowledging the rightness of where you stand, looking for things to appreciate right where you stand, you'll begin to feel yourself launching new rockets and new rockets and new rockets. So it works like this. So here you are sifting through the stuff. You know what you don't want, you launch rockets of what you do want. You know what you don't want, you launch rockets of what you do want. And those vibrational rockets become a vibrational reality that you are not a vibrational match to, not at first. But because you care about how you feel, you start reaching for more thoughts that feel good, and you stay off the thoughts that don't feel good. So if there's some subject that's really uncomfortable, don't try to make it comfortable. We said to Esther the other day, we really don't want you to sit and write a focus wheel until you like to eat raw fish. You don't have to like to eat raw fish. You don't have to eat grasshoppers either. You don't have to eat worms either. But Abraham, what if somebody gives me a bowl of worms? Shouldn't I be able to eat a bowl of worms and like it? Shouldn't I be able to do enough focus wheels that I'm in complete alignment with eating a bowl of worms? And we said, really, Esther? Do you really want to eat a bowl of worms? No, but I don't want to be resistant to anything. And we said, you were born to select. You were born to choose. Don't write a focus wheel to try to get yourself to like things that you don't want to like. That's not the point of this. This is not what the art of allowing is. The art of allowing is not making yourself like what everybody else wants you to like. The art of allowing is you getting in sync with what you have put in your vortex. Can you hear the difference in that? But that requires a willingness to accept the perfection and worthiness that is you. That requires you believing that you are source energy, and that source is aware of you, and that source knows what you want and is calling you toward it constantly. And so that's what we talk about all day, every day. You create your own reality, and it's supposed to be fun. What do you want to talk about? Lots of good things to talk about here. A lot of trouble in this room too. Jerry wanted to write a book. He wanted to call it Turning Thoughts to Things, because he sensed this vibrational reality. He had watched enough people hold dreams and line up with them and manifest them. And he had also seen people hold dreams and not line up with them and never manifest them, just painfully speaking of their hopes and dreams and goals and wishes, and never get closer to them, because they didn't change their vibrational frequency enough to allow themselves to be in the receiving mode, so that they could get on the trail of them, so that they could notice the clues, so that they could be in on the delicious all day, every day, becoming and unfolding of their own desire. And so Jerry began asking us questions like, How do we create our own reality? If it is true that we do, then how is that so? And we began explaining incrementally, day by day, that you are vibrational beings even though you don't know it. You are so used to looking at what you have manifested that you think all the power is in what you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. And most of you, we love you so much, you know what's coming next. Most of you aren't that good yet at holding a vibrational frequency unless you are seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, tasting it, and touching it. And then there's stuff that you are holding as your vibrational awareness that you don't even want in your experience. And so we began talking to you about becoming better selective sifters, better focusers, more aware of how you feel while you look at that and that and that, making more lists of positive aspects and spending more time getting into the appreciation mode. But then life just happens around you, doesn't it? It happens to you, it happens to others. And do you know that almost everyone you know is offering most of their vibrational output because of what they are observing? And you're not that careful about where you look. So most have a sort of mixed bag of vibration, and you are doing extremely well. Have you noticed? You live in an environment where there is so much well-being. The balance of well-being is enormous in comparison with what has been pinched off and not allowed. And so you continue as individuals and as societies to thrive. But you didn't come just to survive. You didn't come just to move through time. You came as source energy creators into this leading edge time-space reality because you knew it would inspire you to your individual desires, your unique and important desires. And you knew that once you launched those rockets of desires, that there was a vibrational reality that had a point of attraction, and that the laws of the universe were going to respond to that point of attraction. And we're here to tell you that you have a choice, that while your desires are expanding and evolving and becoming, you have a choice of lining up with them or holding yourself forever apart from them. You can't stop creating them. You cannot hold your vibrational reality back. It was so important to us that you know that we wrote a whole book about it. We called your vibrational reality your vortex. It's where the vibrational version of everything that you want is. But you've got to find a way of tuning yourself to the frequency of that. When Esther first began receiving us, the way that she did was she and Jerry sat in meditation every day for 15 or 20 minutes. And as she quieted her own mind by focusing upon her breathing, she softened her vibrational attention to anything and everything. She felt detached. She couldn't tell her nose from her toe. And in that detached, non-focused, not focused upon any problems, not focused upon any reality, not focused upon any isness, not focused upon anything that was vibrating. In that detachment from those attentions, those ideas, her vibration, because of absence of resistance, began moving in the vicinity of us. She began to feel the familiarity. She didn't know what it meant. She didn't know who we were. We didn't give any words to her yet. She wasn't ready to receive them. She was not yet turning those vibrations into thoughts, into things like words. She just knew it felt good. She just knew it felt free. She just knew it felt right. She just knew it felt like home. It felt like being who she really is. And so they meditated every day for about 9 months, every day, feeling the vibrational alignment with that, until one day she began receiving motion from us. Now, we'd been offering her thoughts for a while, but she was really determined to release all thoughts, even the ones that she was receiving from us. So we had to get a little obvious with her. We began moving her head. She liked the sensation of that. She told Jerry it was like flying. She liked that feeling of being in complete alignment and moving in that way. And then one day, after several days of her head moving at our intention, she realized her nose was spelling letters like the alphabet. And then we were off and running. That was Esther's first turning thoughts into things. That was her first conscious awareness that someone who felt good to her was offering something that was manifesting into movement. It manifested into movement of her body, awkward in the beginning. She has videos, you will never see them.